Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be about filming underwater. Today I want to share with you guys some method I like to use for filming my underwater stuff, and most of them are on a budget. I'm also going to be comparing all three of the methods I've been using. So a few days ago I went to the pool wearing my koi fish leggings, and I thought it would be a great idea, since I don't really have any photos or any videos for Halloween, to take this little baby with me and take some underwater photos. Now of course I didn't realize that the pumpkin will float, so it was so funny and the lifeguards were laughing at me so much. The footage didn't come out as well as I wanted it to, unfortunately, but still I had lots and lots of fun, and it was a bit difficult working with 3 different cameras at once. So let me show you what I used. So for the majority of my underwater footage, I always use this little guy. So it's a very cheap, very affordable sports camera, and I DIY'd my own handle to it. So this bottom part was actually one of the sports equipment bits that come with the camera, but on the back it has a little suction cup. So I actually DIY'd it. I took some zip ties and I just wrapped it around and looped the suction cup onto it, and it works perfectly. It is so easy to use with the little suction cup, because what I do is I just put it on the side of the pool underwater and then press play and swim around, and it works wonders. Now the camera itself was very affordable, very cheap. The quality of the footage is not the best. I would say it's like a little bit better than some like security footage, I would say, but it does the job, and it's the most useful for getting stuff done without worrying about, is it in focus, am I in frame, you know, you can just swim around and it does the thing. It's really good when it comes to that, and of course it has the little LCD screen on the back, so in case you wanted to take pictures of someone else or film someone, you can see what the camera sees, so it's really good. I'm gonna see if I can find the exact camera just so I can link it below for you guys, but it's, as I said, it's quite an affordable, easy to use, cheap camera. And a better alternative to this would be, of course, one of the GoPro cameras. I've seen a footage done with a black GoPro camera. I think it was GoPro 8 or something like that, and honestly it's on my wish list for like the next year. I think it costs about £200 or so, but the footage was just so clear and so beautiful, and I can just imagine what it could do with like a little bit of color correcting and that would be amazing. But for now I've got this little guy. The second option I've got is my phone. So my phone is unfortunately not waterproof, so what I have for it is a little case. So the case I have for it is this one. It's called a seawag, designed to enjoy water, and it's really handy for like to put your phone in it or card when you're going kayaking or for any water sports, but it also works fine underwater. Of course, with these cases I would say always test it out, so put a little bit of like tissue or something inside, close it securely, and then put it in water for quite a bit just to see if there's any leaks or anything like that, because you don't want to ruin your equipment. It's really nice and secure. It has a little clasp on the top. It closes like so. It was very, very affordable. I actually got it at the airport in Amsterdam, I believe. Don't ask. I had some time to kill and I found this, and I believe I paid like £15 or something for it. You can probably get it cheaper on like Amazon or something, but just because I saw it in person and I didn't have to wait for it to arrive, or I didn't have to, you know, order it anywhere, I thought I would get it. So that's really, really handy. The only thing about it is if you're using it underwater, I would say, of course, put your phone in it and all that, but press the recording button before you put your phone in water, because sometimes it starts to press random buttons and zoom in. So if you press the recording button before putting it in water, it won't press any buttons, if you know what I mean. Because I had some problems with it. When I wanted to press the buttons underwater, it was doing some random stuff. So I wouldn't recommend that. And of course, it has this little strap that you can put on your neck if you're not using it, or if you're doing some water sports like kayaking, for example. But also it's quite handy if you have something heavy, like I use my pumpkin. So you can put it on the side of the pool and then put something heavy on this piece, so it just kind of hangs there, and this part is submerged in water. Now, of course, with these things, you are trapping the air inside, so it's kind of like a balloon, so it might float up to the surface. So you want to kind of squeeze the air out before closing it, so it drowns more. But of course, you could make one of these suction cup DIY thingies, so you can put it on the wall securely, and I think that would be a better option for you as well. But overall, I would say this was a good investment and it works just fine, and this is the footage that I got with this. And of course, here it all depends on your camera quality that you have in your phone, and if you're using the front camera or the back camera. With the front camera, that's quite cool because you can see what you're recording. But of course, if you're underwater with your eyes open, you can't really see that well. And usually the front camera is a bit less quality than your back camera. And of course, it's a good alternative if you have someone else filming you, because then they can see everything that they're doing with this and they can swim with it and all that. So really nice, cheap alternative. And I also know that you can get some phones that are completely waterproof, or are meant to be completely waterproof. I believe some iPhones are meant to be waterproof, but still, I would feel kind of weird using my phone underwater with like no case or anything. I would be like, this feels wrong. But I don't know, maybe it works. And last but not least, we've got the camera I am using right now to film this video. It is the Canon EOS 1100D model. It's a very old DSLR camera. I believe at this point it's like 10 years old, even more. I recently bought this little case for it and it worked alright. So I paid about £15 for it as well, so pretty much the same as what I paid for this, which I mean, yeah. And of course, this option is very risky if you're using your expensive DSLR camera. So mine is quite old and I'm like, alright, risk it for the biscuit, I suppose. But something that I forgot about is that whenever I'm filming, my camera actually doesn't have like an autofocus option in it because it's so old. So I usually have my laptop here with a little button that I can press, but even then sometimes it won't autofocus and I have to stop recording to autofocus and all that. So it was really difficult to set the focus underwater, not gonna lie, especially that I didn't have anyone else with me swimming. I had the lifeguard walking around, but I didn't have anyone to set the focus on the camera. And of course I was swimming around underwater, so that's a bit tricky. So of course your camera, if you have one of them, it probably has autofocus options at this point, but I believe it can be a little bit tricky to film underwater as well because it might not pick up certain things. Overall, it worked fine with these, same as with the other one. Of course, test it out first. If you're putting your expensive camera inside, put a bit of tissue, close it well, and then put it in water. just to see. It comes with these little clips. They actually keep falling out, so I keep losing them. But there's like 3 of them, and they look like this. It's basically like a big Ziploc bag for your camera. You can get ones that are a bit less sturdy than this as well, which are basically just like a Ziploc bag and then you fold it over. Yeah, I decided to pay a bit more and wait a bit longer to get this one from like AliExpress, but you can also get these on Amazon. And the reason why I went for the bright green color is because I've heard some mermaids say that sometimes when they film themselves, they like to have a neon colored floaty or something next to their camera just so they can see where the camera is. Not gonna lie, I didn't see it. I was so like, my eyes were just so blurry that I didn't see it. But yeah, that's why I picked the color. And it also comes with the strap, so you can do the same thing as with the phone case, so you can put something heavy on the strap and have it in water. And with this one the same, it also floats, and this one was very floaty, and it was really hard to film. And as you can see, this part here, the one that holds the lens of the camera, it's quite long. I think it's meant to fit like different lenses basically, but what I did is I twisted it a little bit like this, and then I put a scrunchie on it just to fit my camera a bit more, just so this part is not in the lens so you can't see it on the actual footage. But yeah, it was a bit tricky and a bit fiddly to work with. It also has these like holes to put your fingers. But yeah, this one here, just to press like the button, you know, the one for taking pictures and all that. And of course it's clear so you can see what's going on. I actually had to put a little bit of like a piece of cloth inside just in case, because I was so scared, but also just to position the camera in the right way. But overall, it's what you would expect from this kind of thing, I suppose. It would be way better if you had someone else with you, of course, taking pictures of you, and you could take some like above water and underwater, like half and half pictures that look really cool as well with this. But it's not very handy if you're just filming yourself. And of course, for these types of cameras, for the DSLRs, you also have the big chunky plastic cases that professional photographers use. I'm not a professional in any way, and these cases are like really expensive, like in thousands of pounds. So yeah. So I decided to risk it for the biscuit and get myself one of them. So far it worked alright, but it was really hard to film myself and set the focus with my camera and all that. So here's the footage from this camera. So that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you did. Happy Halloween everybody if you're celebrating. But yeah, let me know what you're gonna be for Halloween this year. That is it, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye! Bye from the pumpkin too.